Welcome to NFL Nexus. Just 1 year ago, it really felt like the Minnesota Vikings had their future all figured out. They had their guy, quarterback J.J. McCarthy. But now, well, it seems like that future is on incredibly shaky ground. Today, we're going to break down exactly how the Vikings got to this point, this critical crossroads, and really dig into why the confidence in their young quarterbacks seems to have just vanished and what it means for the whole organization.
So this is the big question, isn't it? The one on every Vikings fan's mind, and honestly for a really good reason. This isn't just some off-season media chatter, no. This whole narrative is being fueled by a pretty rocky 2025 season, but more importantly by some incredibly revealing comments from the team's leadership. Comments that signal a massive shift in how they're thinking. What looked like a sure thing a year ago is now one of the biggest question marks in the entire NFL. To really get a handle on this crisis of confidence that's brewing up in Minnesota, all you have to do is listen to head coach Kevin O'Connell talk. Seriously, the difference in his tone from last year to this year, it's like night and day. It's a total dead giveaway that something is just not right. We're not talking about a subtle change in wording here. This is a complete fundamental shift in how the franchise is talking about the single most important position in all of sports.
Okay, look at this. This slide lays it out perfectly. It's a complete 180. In 2025, even with McCarthy coming off a meniscus injury that wiped out his entire rookie season, O'Connell was out there loud and proud calling him the franchise quarterback. Just think about the weight of that phrase. They were so unbelievably confident that they let veteran Sam Darnold walk right after he led them to a fantastic 14-3 record and a division title. They literally handed the keys to the kingdom over to McCarthy, no questions asked. Now, fast forward to 2026, that confidence? Gone. Poof. The new buzzword floating around is competition. O'Connell and GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah are openly talking to the media about needing a starting caliber veteran. They absolutely will not commit to McCarthy as their guy. It is a stunning reversal that tells you everything you need to know about their lack of faith right now.
And this number is the ghost that's haunting the entire Vikings front office. 0. That's how many playoff victories head coach Kevin O'Connell has. Now, yeah, he won NFL Coach of the Year back in 2024, which is great, but the postseason success just hasn't been there. The sources we're looking at make it crystal clear that Vikings ownership, they're not just hoping for, they're expecting, maybe even demanding, a deep playoff run in 2026. That adds a monumental layer of pressure, because when ownership starts talking about expectations, coaches start sweating. It forces this win-now mentality that, let's be honest, doesn't leave a lot of room for a young quarterback's growing pains. So this immense pressure, it helps explain why O'Connell might be hedging his bets and completely rethinking that all-in strategy on McCarthy. I mean, his job could very well be on the line, and tying your entire fate to an unproven player, that is a massive gamble. So this internal pressure, it isn't just staying behind the closed doors of the facility. Oh no, it is now being amplified by some really prominent voices outside the organization, including a Vikings legend, a true fan favorite who knows that locker room and that front office better than pretty much anyone. The worries from the inside are now being validated by people on the outside. And there you have it. That is a direct shot from former Vikings Pro Bowl tight end Kyle Rudolph. He was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams, and he did not hold back at all. He straight up called out the team's strategy from last year, calling it a big mistake to just hand the starting job to McCarthy without a seasoned, proven competitor in that same quarterback room. Rudolph is basically pointing to a huge flaw in their entire process, a failure to create an environment that can both challenge a young quarterback, but also support him. This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of what Rudolph is arguing. He looks at this team and sees a Super Bowl caliber roster that's being put at risk. And think about it. You've got Justin Jefferson, who is arguably the best receiver on the planet. You've got a franchise left tackle in Christian Darrisaw. You have weapons everywhere, a solid defense. From Rudolph's perspective, just handing the keys over to a young QB without a veteran mentor in his ear, that's not just a missed opportunity, it's actively hurting McCarthy's development. You're not setting him up for success. You're putting the entire weight of a championship-ready team on his shoulders. That is way too much, way too soon, and it's the kind of pressure that can absolutely break a young player's confidence before he ever really gets going. So, where should the Vikings have looked for an example of how to do things the right way? Well, according to Rudolph, the answer is painfully close to home. It's got a sting for Vikings fans because he pointed directly at their fiercest rival, the Green Bay Packers, as the gold standard for quarterback succession, a blueprint that Minnesota apparently just chose to ignore. I mean, just look at this timeline. It is a masterclass in how to develop a quarterback. As Rudolph pointed out, the Vikings' rivals have been doing this perfectly for decades. Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 full seasons behind Brett Favre. He wasn't just holding a clipboard and warming the bench. No, he was learning how to be a pro, how to read complex NFL defenses, how a Hall of Famer prepares for a game week in and week out. And he did it all without the crushing pressure of being the guy. Then, more recently, you see it again. Jordan Love sat for 3 years behind Rodgers. It's a proven model. Patience, mentorship. It's produced 30 years of elite quarterback play for Green Bay. And it's also the exact polar opposite of Minnesota's initial sink-or-swim approach with McCarthy, an approach that, right now, looks incredibly short-sighted. Well, it seems like the Vikings have finally gotten the message, and maybe even took Rudolph's criticism to heart, because all the signs are now pointing to a major course correction. The organization is now actively and very publicly searching for a veteran quarterback to bring into that room. They're trying to create the competition that was so obviously missing last season. They're basically admitting, without saying the words, that their first plan was a mistake. And oh boy, the rumor mill is in full swing with some pretty fascinating names. Each one here represents a totally different strategy, right? I mean, could they make a trade for a former first-rounder who's looking for a second chance, like Mac Jones? Or would they try to swing for the fences with a super dynamic but also super expensive playmaker like Kyler Murray? Heck, even names like Tua Tagovailoa and yes, even Aaron Rodgers have been floated out there in the world of speculation. But honestly, the specific player is less important than the message this whole search sends. The Vikings are dead serious about bringing in legitimate competition for McCarthy. The days of just handing him the job are over. Now, what makes this whole situation even more compelling is that Minnesota is actually an ideal landing spot for a veteran who's looking to kind of resurrect their career. Kevin O'Connell's reputation as a quarterback whisperer is totally earned. I mean, he got career best production out of Kirk Cousins, and he even managed to turn Sam Darnold into a 14-game winner. A veteran could walk right into a situation with elite weapons, an offensive-minded head coach, and a real, genuine opportunity to start for a team that is built to win right now. That is a powerful combination, and it should give the Vikings plenty of good options in their search.
So, you take all of this, the huge shift in tone from the coach, the pressure from the outside, the very public search for another quarterback, and it all sets the stage for what is going to be an absolutely make-or-break 2026 season in Minnesota. This isn't just another year on the calendar. It's a defining moment. They are truly at a crossroads as a franchise.
The stakes really could not be higher for the two guys at the center of all this. For J.J. McCarthy, the training wheels are officially off. The grace period, whatever there was of one, is over. He has to come into training camp, win the starting job against a legit veteran, and then prove he can lead this team to wins on Sunday. If he can't, he could find himself on the bench for good, with that dreaded bust label. And for Kevin O'Connell, his job is on the line, plain and simple. He has to win, and win now, to keep ownership happy. His decision at quarterback will be the defining moment of his entire tenure as a head coach. Picking the wrong guy could cost him absolutely everything.
And that brings us right back to the ultimate question as the Vikings head into one of the most pivotal off-seasons they've had in recent memory. Is J.J. McCarthy going to rise to the challenge and silence all the doubters? Or will a new face be leading that huddle in week 1, sending the franchise down a completely different path? Everything is hanging in the balance.
When you boil it all down, this is so much more than just a simple quarterback controversy. It is a high-stakes gamble. You're gambling with the future of a top draft pick, the job of a well-respected head coach, and the championship dreams of an entire franchise. The fates of J.J. McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell are now completely, totally intertwined, and the outcome of this pivotal season is going to shape the future of the Minnesota Vikings for years to come.
All right, that's our explainer for today. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you want more breakdowns from all around the league, please do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button to join the community here at NFL Nexus. Give this video a like and then head down to the comments. We really want to hear from you. Who do you think the Vikings should bring in to compete with McCarthy? Let us know your thoughts.
And one last thing, you can help support the channel and everything we do here by checking out our brand new NFL-themed coloring books. Seriously, they're perfect for fans of any age. For your kids, your grandkids, or hey, even for yourself to just kind of unwind. You can grab them by clicking the link down in the description below or by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on NFL Nexus.